A little bit now, coming out of school, kind of give us an update, like off-season when they'll come back and how things will ramp back up.
Yeah, so everybody finished their exams last week, and then went home, get some time to see their family and that sort of thing. We'll resume our summer program. Everybody will report back by June 14, and then we start our workouts on the 16th. So I think now is an important time for them to get the time with their family and friends and kind of get away from it a little bit. And we'll get back to work in a month or so.
What about a health update on Taman? How's he kind of progressing, and any other guys?
Yeah, Taman's great. He's been great with our workouts at the end of the year. He's totally healthy. I don't know how to put a number on, hey, he's 100% or what that is, but he's healthy, he's moving great, he feels great. He's doing an excellent job with the weight room and agility and things that he needs to be working on right now. So excited to get him back playing at full strength.
How awesome was it to put Cade on scholarship?
Yeah, Cade has done so much for our program over the 2 years. When you look at what he does on the court every day in practice, how he carries himself, how much it means to him to be a Cyclone, and then we were able to count on him late in the year. We had some injuries, and we were able to count on him down the stretch. Was really impactful. So felt like he earned that right, earned that opportunity, and he's going to be somebody, again, as he moves forward. I've shared with him, don't take a back seat to anybody. Continue to be out there fighting every day. You never know what opportunity can present itself.
You are the only Big 12 school, I think, to return at least 50% of your scoring and I think 47% of your minutes from a year ago. How much pride do you take in that much production returning from a year ago?
I think for everybody, the two things that you hear coaches talk about all the time is that you want to have, returning, production, you want to have the retention, and then you want to have older team. And so to be able to keep guys, like Joshua and Taman and Milan, Nate Heisey, and we just talked about Cade, so important because the carryover from one year to the next, the foundation, the leadership that they can provide, I think it allows you to hit the ground running when you get to practice in June and then beyond, as opposed to when you're starting with a group that's totally new. So fortunate to be in the position that we are.
The 4 transfers that you brought in, they all seem to play significant minutes or start at their previous schools. How much do you look for previous production as you evaluate the portal?
I think we're looking for very specific guys, right? I think when you look at the front court with Buchanan and with Mulder, they're guys that are really great feet, intelligent players, guys that can change speeds and directions. Our pick and roll defense, we want the speed. We want guys that have ability, if we play them on pocket passes, short rolls, can be great decision makers, assistant turnover guys. Mulder was, by Ken Palm, the most efficient player in the entire country. Buchanan is a really gifted passer and lob threat. So those are things we look at for those positions. At the 5 position, we want guys that are tremendous effort-based players. And then when you look at Mason Williams and with Dominic Nelson, both are taller, longer guards with a lot of upside. Both need to continue to get stronger and add, continue to build their core strength and things like that. But with Dominic is a downhill playmaking, gets to the foul line about as well as anybody does, and attacking in transition. And then, with Mason, he's more a guy that can make plays off the bounce as well as make shots and that sort of thing. So really, we like the character, we like the size, we like the decision making. Guys that we really think have more upside and can develop and who want to work to develop. We've seen that work really well for a guy like Kurt Jones. His background is not that much different than those two guys, and so we feel good about our ability to develop, those guys in those spots.
How's the health of the rest of the team look? Is there any injuries that going in the off season you guys have to work on?
No, not really. Joshua's had down the stretch even a little bit, just, with some muscle strains and things like that. He had surgery the year before, so it was a long season. And again, when you're playing 34, 35 minutes a game down the stretch, there's going to be some wear and tear and things along those lines. So we've just tried to make sure with him that he gets the right amount of rest and time away as well. But he's a competitor. He knows part of that now is making sure that he's healthy. But Milan's been great. Heisey's been great. Kelderman's been great. So all those guys, feel really good about. And again, when the new guys get here, you kind of evaluate everybody and see where they're at until they get here. You don't want to get too far in front of things. So we get them in, we do the physical right away, and kind of assess things from there.
Following up on the transfers, the incoming guys, it seems to be a common theme where they feel like they were under the radar, overlooked a little bit, but they come here with something to prove. Is that something? Is that just like a common trait or common theme that you've seen in the transfers?
Yeah, I mean, those are the guys that have seemingly done well for us, that felt like we had a shared vision, the guys that we felt like they had more ability than maybe what they accomplished at the prior stop, whether it was they weren't asked to do as much, whether they're coming up a level, those things. And we've seen guys over the last few years that have done really well for us with those backgrounds. So I do think the chip on the shoulder is always going to be something that we look for and we think is important. I think guys that have those work habits and that character every single day, and then we talk a lot about, like, you do have to really want to be here, and you have to want to be here for the schedule that we hold, the work capacity that we demand, the habits on a daily basis, and that's not for everybody. And I think guys that really are rooted in development and want to do their work every single day, those guys will do really well for us. So we're excited about this group. It feels the same.
You mentioned targets